A blast from the past. We'll go down to Marathon County for a look at this year's Wausau Antique Show and Sale. We'll have those stories and more as your local weekend news starts right now.
News Watch 12 with Kyle Kozorski, Mohammed Abdul Kawi, and Conrad Sapinski.
Good evening. We start tonight with meteorologist Conrad Sapinski for a first glance at the forecast. Conrad, today I was driving. It was very windy outside. I could barely keep my car on the road. Is that going to be over today and then, tomorrow afternoon?
Yes, by tomorrow, road conditions will be improving, Kyle. We'll have lots of sunshine, temperatures close to the freezing mark, but it's going to be a nice day. And then same story to Monday. We're going to have pretty warm temperatures. Right now, though, there is still just a little bit of lake effect snow left closer to the Marquette area. Overall, though, the Northwoods are looking pretty good, even all the way down by Wausau and south of that by Green Bay area as well. Clouds are starting to decrease. They're starting to move out of the area. Winds are starting to die down as well. We only have an 8-mile-an-hour wind here in town right now. Eagle River at 7, Lando Lakes at 7 as well. So wind gusts closer to 15, 20, maybe 25 in some spots. Of course, some stronger winds into Mount Bohemia area, and same story closer to Marquette and right by Lake Superior. Temperatures, though, are cold, so it does feel really, really cold. 15 degrees, that's our actual temperature right now in town. That feels like temperature, the temperature we feel on our skin, only at 4 with some pockets of around 0 all over the area. Tonight, though, temperatures are going to continue to cool off, a low temperature of around 5 degrees. Kyle?
Thank you, Conrad. The Lincoln County Humane Society celebrated the Stars Spring Saturday morning by hosting Spring Fest in Merrill. It took place at the Agri Pavilion and was created by volunteers for a fun way to bring the community together. Shelter manager Liz Friedenfels says that the shelter typically receives more animals during springtime, so now is a crucial time to get prepared for the increase in animals.
Things like this help us to offset the cost of spaying and neutering, which is, the number one thing you can do to help your shelter and your areas. Have your own pets spayed and neutered, come to events like this, and always support the animals.
Of course, Saturday's event was filled the building with plenty of smiles. She went on to say that support from the community goes a long way.
It's just really incredible. There are donations coming in last minute, people dropping off prize baskets, just because they heard about the event. They weren't even directly approached for it. So it's really incredible to see the generosity of so many people and so many organizations.
The plan is to turn Spring Fest into a yearly event in the future. For more information on how to help the Humane Society, you can visit our website, wjw.com. And to Marathon County now, where D.C. Everest Senior High School played host to this year's Wausau Antique Show and Sale, which has been taking place in the area for nearly 4 decades, featuring rare items from the 19th century. Audrey Hansen has been an organizer for the show since the beginning, back when it took place at the Wausau Center Mall, telling Newswatch 12 that she has been happy to see the event grow to what it is today.
And we got 50 dealers now, and most of them come back each year. Every year we get a few new ones. This year we got some from Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, and Wisconsin. So it's just been a great week, great day, and I think tomorrow will be too.
The antique show brings people to the greater Wausau area from all around, including antique collector Paul Fisher, who traveled all the way from Indianapolis. He says collecting antiques may not be as popular as it used to be, but it's a good way to see people are still interested in the hobby of collecting.
We see things that come from historic homes, historic collections, and it's like being able to go to a museum, but you can buy the stuff and take it home. So that's the fun part of it.
If you're interested in adding some unique items to your collection, the antique show will continue on through Sunday, running from 10 to 4 p.m. And get your dancing shoes and cowboy hats out, because tomorrow in Rhinelander, WHDG Radio will be hosting their annual Hode Country Fest Band Pickoff. It's taking place at Cabaret Cove, just off Rhinelander's North Stevens Street. The pickoff will take place starting at noon and is expected to run through 6 p.m. The winner of Sunday's contest will go on to perform at Hode Country Fest. Now Wisconsin, an apparent fire in southern Wisconsin is under control after multiple agencies responded to a firefight early Saturday morning. The Monona Fire Department was dispatched to the Monona Hills apartment complex at just before 4 a.m., with officials on scene saying that one person was found dead after the fire, though the cause of death has not been identified yet. Fire officials did not provide any further information on damage to the complex, and at this time, the Red Cross has set up a shelter for residents who were displaced. Coming up, baby formula manufacturer Gerber is recalling a popular line of formula, plus details on why former President Trump said today that he expects to be arrested in the coming days, calling on his supporters to protest the action. We'll have that coming up and more after weather. Stick with us. You're watching Newswatch 12, proud to serve Land O'Lakes and communities all across the Northwoods.
The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is here and ready to help. Anyone in Wisconsin can call, text, or chat to get connected to a trained 988 counselor. Trained counselors are here to support anyone experiencing a suicidal, mental health, or substance use crisis. You can also contact 988 if you're concerned about someone. 988 is confidential and free to all Wisconsin residents. 988 24/7. Call, text, chat. Here to support you.
Emmer Properties leases office, storage, and manufacturing space, as well as apartments, duplexes, and homes. We are your first call, your last call, your only call for your rental or lease needs.
Good news! This just in. Your Ford dealers have fresh shipments of their award-winning SUV lineup in stock and ready for you to drive home today. Get your hands on a new Ford, the #1 brand in SUV owner loyalty, including Bronco Sport with standard GOAT modes and Explorer, America's all-time best-selling SUV. And now, here's more good news. Choose FlexBuy on Escape and get 2.9% APR financing for 66 months plus $1,500 FlexBuy cash.
Hey, Dad, look.
Us.
This is the magma chamber.
This isn't us, is it? When did we get so connected to our devices and so disconnected from each other?
She's not answering.
What?
And when our phones have turned us into this,
LT?
what do you do when you're a company that sells them?
We gotta fix this.
It's time to find what we're missing. Join us in taking a break from our devices. Take the phones down for 5 challenge for 5 days, 5 hours, or even just 5 minutes.
Feels good.
And let's find us again. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
80% of Americans aren't getting their recommended daily physical activity. It's time to get moving, America. Physical therapists and physical therapist assistants are by your side, helping you move through life. Choose physical therapy, and let's keep moving.
Welcome back, folks. Happy Saturday. All right, still officially winter. In 2 days, it's officially going to be our first day of spring. So far, though, we have around 22 inches of snow on the ground. Wausau's coming in with 16 inches. Barely any snow in Green Bay, only 4. But look at Milwaukee area, Madison into La Crosse. Pretty much no snow, only a couple pockets of some snow here and there. We did have a couple of flurries earlier today, 1 to 2 inches up north, mostly north of Highway 8 area into Vilas County. Of course, in the UP, they got several inches of snowfall. Now things are starting to clear up. We have some decreasing clouds. The lake effect snow here is starting to clear up. By the Marquette area, it's still snowing. But overall, though, look at all this lake effect snow. Pretty much all the lakes, even up to Lake Erie in Pennsylvania, they have some lake effect snow as well. So things are looking like they are ramped up. And they will be tonight into tomorrow. But let's take a look at what's coming up. So tomorrow will be pretty clear. Monday, Tuesday, though, that's when another low pressure system moves on in. This time it's going to be mostly snow with this one Tuesday. Into Tuesday night, some pretty steady snow on Wednesday. We'll have warmer temperatures, maybe a little bit of a mixture of rain and snow into Thursday as well. And then maybe into Friday, we'll have some lingering flurries and snow showers. Winds are starting to calm down right now. Only an 8-mile-an-hour breeze here in town, 7 in Eagle River. And then just down south by Anago, close to 10 miles per hour. So it's not really looking too bad. Marshfield into Green Bay. They also have sustained winds at around 10. That means wind gusts are closer to 25. Not looking too bad right now. We did have much stronger winds yesterday and even earlier today. But look what happens by tomorrow afternoon. Sunday at around 4 p.m. Really gusty winds even into Anago, Crandon area. We'll have pretty strong winds up to even 30, 35 miles per hour. And then finally by Monday, things start to calm down. And then we're just going to have a pretty light breeze. Let's talk a little bit about temperatures. It's March. It's almost April. Lots of cold air made its way all the way down south all the way even into Nashville, 33 degrees, even into northwest parts of Florida, into Georgia. There's some freeze warnings where some places will get below freezing temperatures. The East Coast, though, still staying pretty warm. New York City, D.C., into Raleigh, temperatures in the 40s and 50s. There's even some hard freeze warnings into Tennessee, Georgia, Mississippi, and even into northwest Florida. That's how cold it is. Our average high is now supposed to be around 39 degrees. Our average low around 18. Our atmosphere, though, could do 28 below, and that was over 110 years ago. Temperatures right now are at around 15 degrees for the most part. A couple pockets of colder air. Anago is coming in with temperatures around 13. We do have a little bit of a wind, so that feels like temperature is much, much colder than that. Anago around 0. That feels like temperature. Tonight, though, it's going to get cold. We'll have some decreasing clouds. That's going to allow the atmosphere to really cool off to around 5 degrees. Tomorrow, close to freezing, around 33, mostly sunny, but it will be windy. We're going to have a southwest wind at around 15 to 25 miles per hour. Our 7-day outlook brought to you by Northwoods Furniture and Mattress does show a nice-looking first official day of spring on Monday. Cooler temperatures in the area, though, and then more chances of rain and snow arrive Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, even into Friday. Kyle?
Thank you, Conrad. The maker of a popular powdered infant formula is voluntarily recalling one of its products. Perrigo Company makes Gerber's Good Start infant formula, and it announced on Friday that it's recalling some Gerber-powered infant formula because it may be contaminated with bacteria. The formula was made between January 2nd and January 18th of this year. The company says so far no products have shown any signs of bacteria contamination and no one has become sick. However, Perrigo opted for the recall out of an abundance of caution. Customers with the product should toss it out and can ask the company for a full refund. In an unexpected social media post, former President Donald Trump says he expects to be arrested on Tuesday and has called for protest. This comes as New York law enforcement prepares for a possible indictment after a years-long investigation into the former president's alleged role in the hush money scheme and cover-up. So far, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office has declined to comment. Isabella Rosales has the latest.
On Saturday, former President Donald Trump making this post, lashing out, saying he expects to be arrested on Tuesday of next week, writing, "Protests, take our nation back." The possible indictment comes as Manhattan's prosecutors investigate Trump's alleged role in a $130,000 hush money payment made to adult film star Stormy Daniels, days before the 2016 presidential election. The former president has denied wrongdoing and did not reveal details on why he expects to be indicted. His spokesperson said he did not receive notification about any possible indictment from prosecutors.
The events of this case stretch back 6 or 7 years. It's tracking his. So all of this creates a bit of a mess, both legally and sort of practically.
On Saturday, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says a potential arrest is, quote, an outrageous abuse of power and calls for all relevant committees to immediately investigate if federal funds are being used to subvert our democracy by interfering in elections with politically motivated prosecutions. If the former president is indicted, it would mark a historic first.
That means you've got a prisoner who's arriving in a motorcade with a security cordon, escorted by armed Secret Service agents. You'd have to go through that process of getting his fingerprints, shooting his mug shots.
On Monday, another witness is expected to testify before a grand jury in Manhattan. It's not clear whether this would be the final witness before voting on a possible indictment. I'm Isabel Rosales reporting.
When we come back, Muhammad will join us for a breakdown of the biggest stories from around the world. But first, here's a look at the week that was in the world of business.
A roller coaster ride for bank stocks. The Treasury Secretary speaks on Capitol Hill, and President Biden weighs in, all in the week that was. The banking sector saw a volatile week of trading following the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank last Friday. The fears among investors were heightened on news that Credit Suisse's top investor wouldn't be able to provide additional financial assistance. That stock pared its losses later in the week after the Swiss central bank said it would loan over $50 billion to the bank. Regional bank names saw sharp sell-offs the past several days. Western Alliance and PacWest fell double digits on the week, and First Republic lost over 60% of market value. That led a group of 11 major U.S. banks to step in to pledge $30 billion in deposits to keep First Republic Bank afloat. On Capitol Hill, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen testified before the Senate Financial Committee, offering firm and upbeat reassurances to rattled bank investors. She told senators that the U.S. banking system, quote, remains sound and Americans, quote, can feel confident about the safety of their deposits. And President Biden is calling for tougher penalties for failed bank executives. He's asking Congress to allow the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation to be able to claw back compensation and to lower the threshold that bars executives from working at another bank. I'm Kelly Evans. Get all your business news on CNBC.
Wisconsin seniors depend on Social Security, but extremist Dan Kelly doesn't care about them. Kelly wrote that Social Security was similar to slavery. And Kelly insulted seniors by writing that those on Social Security are, quote, people who have chosen to retire without sufficient assets to support themselves. Do you want a radical like that on the Supreme Court? Dan Kelly, an extremist who doesn't care about us.
Some numbers simply have more meaning than others. After an accident, there's one critical number. The number that helps you get your life back by factoring in your needs for today and tomorrow. That's where Habish, and Rotier's numbers really add up. With over 90 years of client successes and 13 offices to help you wherever you are. Trust Habish Personal Injury Attorneys to get the number that's right for you. Call now.
Us. This isn't us. Is it? When did we get so connected to our devices and so disconnected from each other? And when our phones have turned us into this? LT, what do you do when you're a company that sells them?
We gotta fix this.
It's time to find what we're missing. Join us in taking a break from our devices. Take the phones down for 5 challenge for 5 days, 5 hours, or even just 5 minutes.
Feels good.
And let's find us again. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Hi, you know me. I'm Karen from the Hearing House. Have you noticed there's a lot of talk about hearing aids lately? That's because they improved so much. Our clients tell us things are clearer, more natural sounding, music sounds better, and they hear better in background noise. But wait, that's not all. They love the Bluetooth streaming with their smartphones and their TVs. If you want to learn about better hearing, call the Hearing House. Hearing aids are all we do, so we do it right.
Our house, a hearing house.
Demonstrators stormed a train station and mall in central Paris this morning, protesting their government's plan to raise the country's retirement age from 62 to 64. Earlier this week, French President Emmanuel Macron's party sidestepped the country's lower house of parliament. The proposed reform to the French pension system was already controversial, but the manner by which the bill was approved is what has sparked the outrage. The protests around France are calling on workers to strike and for Macron to be removed from office. There were also smaller protests that broke out in other cities across the Western European country. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky signed a decree today to discipline hundreds of individuals, including Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. That's according to a Ukrainian government statement. The decree, which approved by a proposal by the National Security and Defense Council of Ukraine, imposes sanctions primarily on Russian citizens and legal entities. But the list also includes other well-known leaders in the Middle East. The statement added that the sanctions, which stipulate the complete end of the trading operations through the territory of Ukraine, will be imposed for 10 years. Now to some brighter news. A new orchid species has been found by scientists in Japan. The pink and white blooms of the flower are so delicate and fragile that they look like they were spun from glass. The newly described flower is a neighbor to a population of a related orchid common in the country. And according to scientists, it's an important reminder that unknown species are often living right under our noses. The finding was published in the Journal of Plant Research. That's it for your news around the world. Back to you, Kyle.
Thank you, Mohammed. When we come back, our own Serenity Douglas will be here to break down the WIAA Division 5 Boys Basketball Championship that Owasa's Newman Catholic Fighting Cardinals do. We'll find out after the break.
Come to Slumberland and get 20% off our beautiful new furniture and decor during our Spring Spruce Up event. We've got fresh new looks, like sleek new upholstery for your living area, plus extra discounts on recliners, patios, Sealy mattresses, and sectionals. including our new super versatile modular sectional. Get an extra 20% off Slumberland low prices during our spring spruce up event right now at Slumberland Furniture. And check out our easy new mattress rating system to get you in your perfect bed.
Sue right, Jake middle, me on the left. Yeah, I knew I'd win.
Are you saying
What's
something?
really happening over there?
I think you're on mute.
There's no substitute for real gaming fun. Go where fun lives. Ho Chunk Gaming Wittenberg.
Dan Kelly is extremely corrupt. 6 times Kelly ruled in favor of a plaintiff with close ties. He was on their advisory panel. He took contributions from their board. And all 6 times, Kelly ruled in their favor. Another time, Kelly changed his mind about whether to judge the Zignego case after pocketing $20,000 in contributions from the Zignego family. Corruption, extremism, that's Dan Kelly.
I absolutely feel that Tiger Lily is getting a great education with RVA. She is challenged and she's not bored. She enjoys her classwork.
I love the teachers. The teachers are the best part. My teachers are very friendly and they're easy to reach out to when I need help with an assignment. The teachers are always there when you need help.
What I love about RVA is the flexibility, first. But second is that Tiger Lily is so happy with this school, with her teachers, and with what she's learning. It's awesome.
The Wausau Curling Club is very excited to be hosting the National Curling Club Championships this year. This was my first time seeing the sport, and it definitely kept me on my toes. Teams from all over the country arrived Wednesday to compete for gold. The start of play and opening ceremonies was Thursday, along with men's draw at 5:30 and women's draw at 9 p.m. Both men and women competed on Friday and on to Saturday. You can still get in on the action tomorrow at 8 a.m. for the tiebreaker at noon, and then it's the men's-women's semifinal and 4 p.m. Championship and bronze medal games. For more information, go to wausaucurling.org. We're still on the ice, but this time with sticks and a puck. The Wisconsin Badgers women's hockey team competed against Minnesota yesterday in the Frozen Four tournament. And who doesn't love a good rivalry game? The Lady Badgers fought hard and beat the Gophers 3-2 in overtime to claim their rightful spot in the national championships. But it all comes down to the last dance. The Badgers will play Ohio State on Sunday at 4 p.m. to fight for the NCAA trophy. The Fighting Cardinals have been punching their way through every tournament round for this game right here. It's the finale for the WIAA Division V Boys Basketball State Championships. Newman Catholic had the #1 seed as they were matched up with the #2 seed McDonald Central Catholic. I was down in Madison earlier today to catch in on the boys basketball action. I'm here at the Kohl Center, home of the Wisconsin Badgers for the Division V WIAA Boys State Basketball Championship. Newman Catholic knocked out Royal to move on and face off with McDonald Central Catholic. The energy was electric. You could tell the Fighting Cards were ready to rumble in the arena. In the first half, they came out strong, not only setting the tone by scoring first, but maintaining the standard of a high-paced game.
Yeah, there was a lot of emphasis. We knew they were, coming to try and outscore us. It was a little different than Royal, but, we knew we were honestly a more fast-break team, and we were glad that, they'd want to run it with us. And, Coach said it best earlier that it really came down to the defense because we knew we'd be able to score. But we just had to make sure we'd be able to stop their best players.
They led the entire first half, draining back-to-back-to-back threes. Thanks to key playmakers like Connor Kruk with 16 points and Mason Prey with 8 points.
We played extremely well from start to finish. Towards with 6 minutes to go in the first half, we made a really great surge. And that surge was really important to us because the guy to my left, the guy to my right, Isaac, Jackson, they all had hit some threes in this game.
Then heading into the second half, McDonald matched Newman's energy, making the Fighting Cards offense rocky. The Cards' threes started being less accurate and small mistakes in crunch time were made.
When we were up double digits at halftime, Coach made sure to preach to us that the game's 0-0. And if we win that second half, we'll win the game, obviously. And we might not have won that second half, but we had a good enough lead in the first half. Overall, Coach just calmed us down and made sure to get a good look on offense, and that helped us.
Nonetheless, Newman Catholic held their composure, got to the free throw line, and took the victory 66-54. This is Newman Catholic's first Golden Ball and will go down in the school history books for becoming the first team to bring home the state championship in boys basketball.
It's great to leave our names in the record books, and hopefully the younger kids will be able to look up to us and try and I guess model their game after us and hopefully bring back another gold ball.
There are so many things we take for granted. So many things. And along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for their survival for granted too. The elderly, disabled, the veterans, people on limited and fixed incomes, or folks that lost jobs in sectors hardest hit during the pandemic. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? Some people just can't come back. And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind, struggling to keep their heat, water, and power on. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our heat, water, and power providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Sheriffs like us from around the state are supporting Daniel Kelly for Wisconsin Supreme Court. Justice Kelly's opponent, Janet Protasiewicz, is a Milwaukee County judge with a long history of letting dangerous criminals back into our streets.
Directly undermining the work of our officers and putting your family at risk. We can't afford to have judges who put their own agendas above the law. It's time we start prioritizing justice again, not politics.
Vote Daniel Kelly for Wisconsin Supreme Court.
Visit Ho Chunk Gaming Nakusa to experience exciting action on the hottest slot machines and electronic table games. With big fun, you get bigger rewards while playing with your Rewards Club card. Enjoy special gaming offers, food and entertainment discounts, and more. Hungry? No problem. Escape to the oasis of Swiftwater Lounge for drinks, food, and fun. We'll see you at Ho Chunk Gaming Nakusa, your place to play.
Fishing for the best deal on a new boat and motor? Then get to American Marine and Motorsports in Shawano. Pick from hundreds of boats and pontoons in stock at the largest showroom in the USA. Then increase your power with a Mercury motor on your new dream boat. We'll beat any boat price by $500 and trade in your old boat and motor for even more savings. Book the best deal on new boats and Mercury motors at American Marine and Motorsports, Shawano.
Join the conversation when you're on the go. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date. Newswatch 12, from where you live.
Pretty cold outside. Temperatures are only at around 15 degrees. It's middle of March. We should have temperatures in the 30s at the moment, so we have some well below average temperatures. Or feels like temperatures are even colder than that. We do have a little bit of a wind, so it is closer to 0, maybe even 1 or even 2 below in some spots. All right, let's talk a little bit about snow. We are at 95.5 inches for the year. We're at number 4, and we're going to continue to get a little bit more snow Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday into Friday. So we're going to add to it maybe top 2 or top 3 of the season. We'll see.
Thank you, Conrad. That's it for your news around the Northwoods. Have a great night, everyone.